Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make an informed decision. Now, I don't know if you own the ISO20022 Compliant Tokens, or if you're looking to buy or sell those in 2023, or if you're trying to position yourself for the next bull run, but any of that, you need to hear me out because this is some extremely bullish information that, quite frankly, no one's talking about. And I think that stems from the reason that people tend to follow like the founders or just the headlines, but they need to follow the big Wall Street money, the big money. The founder of any protocol, any blockchain is pretty much going to tell you how great their technology is. They're going to tell you their case studies of what they can do. They're going to tell you what they want to do or what they plan to do. Of course they are. Well, that's only relevant if, say, Wall Street agrees. Unless you're a meme coin, the retail public like me and you, we're not going to put a dent in any big market whatsoever. So it's important to follow the big money. Now, when you have good tech, it doesn't have to be the best, and Wall Street gets behind you, guys, that project's going to be successful and it's going to absolutely explode. That's why Ethereum is so successful. Might not be the best tech, has great security layer, and now it has a great ecosystem, but that's because Wall Street chose to pump money into Ethereum. Now, let's get into the news because, guys, this is bullish, and I want you to hear me out because this is going to set the stage, in my opinion, of what's going to happen in the next bull run. And, it'll give you a good idea of which tokens you might want to start stacking. Now, this is not financial advice. And if you stay with me to the end, when I uncovered a project that no one's talking about, quite frankly, I've never heard of it, but it came up in the same vein as all these really good projects, and it might be a token that we want to take a look at least put it on our radar, and we'll talk about that at the end. Now let's get into it. Now, Goldman Sachs goes live with blockchain platform to streamline financial processing. It says investment bank Goldman Sachs Group announced the launch of tokenization platform GSDAPTM deployed on Canton blockchain. Now, that is a private blockchain with Goldman Sachs, which is very, very common. JP Morgan has a private blockchain. Wells Fargo, almost all the banks have a private blockchain. And at first that concerned me because I thought they were going to block us out of crypto, especially in the tokens we wanted to invest in. However, that's not the case. Now, again, this is not financial advice. Do your own research, but it's going to bring you to the same exact thoughts that I have, or the same understanding, because as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much factual and documented. No matter how many private blockchains are out there, almost all the roads, especially if it includes anything to do with tokenized assets or payments, all roads lead back to like Hyperledger and distributed ledger technology. All roads. And so no matter how many private blockchains you have, they still have to have the interoperability like of Quant and XRP, Chainlink, and HBAR, and all those great projects. Now, no matter what, we will never be able to figure out exactly how any of this is tied together. It's way too complex, and there's just way too many ways that they can lay all that out. But we do know that out of, I don't know, 10 or 12 different projects, whether it's Casper, HBAR, or XLM, that they're all going to be used, or at least some of them, differently in every single project. So we've got to really, keep an eye on those. Now, hear me out. So when I heard the word Canton blockchain, I wanted to know, can I buy that token? What is it? What's it all about? Who's behind it? And they don't have a token, and it is a private blockchain of Goldman Sachs, and it was created by Digital Asset, who is a corporation who also doesn't have a token. So as I dug into it, I went to find out what partnerships does Digital Asset have. Well, of course, Accenture came into play. Accenture is one of the biggest players in the world, period, when it comes to blockchain and crypto. Now, as you can see on the screen, this is Accenture's alliances and partnerships: Digital Asset, Hyperledger, R3, Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, Ripple. Guys, I'm telling you, in this sector, all roads lead to those names and those protocols. The ISO20022 Compliant Tokens are the ones to watch. Now, I'm not going to tell you which ones to own. You might want to own all of them, like I own most of them, if not all of them. But some are better than others. Now, I'm not going to get into that. But, guys, here's why this is so important. You've got JP Morgan, who did the exact same thing at the end of last year. They did their first tokenized asset. Now, for whatever this is worth, you might want to take a mental note, that when JP Morgan did their tokenization of, I believe it was the Singapore bond or whatever it was, it used the same Hyperledger, the same technology. Now, they made the trade on AAVE and Polygon, which obviously sits on Ethereum. That's one to watch. Make a mental note, or you probably should, not financial advice. But anyway, guys, here's why this is so exceptionally bullish. When this court case is over with XRP, Ripple XRP, and hopefully they win. If XRP wins, or Ripple wins, and we get regulation, this next bull run, especially once something breaks in the economy and the Fed pivots, this next bull run is going to be the biggest opportunity in the history of the world for the average person to change their financial destiny. I truly believe that. Now, stay with me. I'm going to share with you that other protocol. I don't want you to miss it. But let me finish. The next bull run, if I'm reading this right, I truly believe, and I'm looking behind the scenes. I used to work for Bear Stearns, which is like a Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, especially at the time. And I truly believe that the U.S. government, the Wall Street, and the central banks pick winners and losers to the best of their ability. And they say they're trying to look out for us, but guys, don't kid yourself. They're only looking out for those guys, the big money. They could care less about us. The way their profits come from the retail public. So I want to be on their side. I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the fact that Wall Street has picked Ethereum and that Ethereum is crazy centralized. I hate that. But I will put real money into Ethereum, not to get off track. But hear me out. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think in 2023, or maybe the first of 2024, something's going to break in the American economy, and it's going to spread throughout the globe, and there's going to be a lot of pain. The damage is done, guys. There's no soft landing, in my opinion. Something's going to break. Now, coincidentally, we're probably going to get the answer to the Ripple case, and we're going to get some regulation. And then the market's going to be crashed at the bottom, And all at once, all these things are going to start to happen. And Wall Street and BlackRock type of money is going to step in, buy the bottom. And that bull run is going to be the longest and biggest, most profitable bull run in history. I truly believe that. I cannot be more bullish for the next bull run. It's going to be explosive, especially if we have regulation. And then you're going to get a spot Bitcoin, and you're going to have regulation, and you're going to have all these tokenized assets, and people are going to start to understand it. And the big Wall Street banks are going to move their customer money into it, plus the banks and the hedge funds and pension funds, all that. But now, this is why this news is so important to understand. Guys, it doesn't matter what we believe or what we invest in. We're not going to move any market. It doesn't matter. But if you really understand how Goldman Sachs and say JP Morgan, two of the largest investment banking firms in the world, how they're set up, just like BlackRock is set up. Guys, when you see a whale that maybe has $10 million or even $50 million and he's moving around buying Bitcoin or Ethereum or maybe even moving in and out of a meme coin, and he's trading a lot, just know that the odds are that's a fraction of his net worth. His real net worth is sitting at Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan or with BlackRock or all three. And so that's the big money of the world. And when they get behind a project, it's going to be explosive. So we know, doing our homework, certain projects that are probably going to be the ones that Wall Street wants to invest in. Now, because we don't have regulation and clarity, I'm going to kind of slow down my stacking to, which I'm pretty much leveraged up across the board. I'm waiting for something to break. I want something to break. I want a clean house. I want the Fed to have to pivot, because if nothing breaks and the Fed pivots, the next bull run might not be that substantial, in my opinion. Anyway, I know I'm getting on a rant, but hear me out, guys. Take a look at all the ISO20022 compliant tokens, whether it's Quant, Link, HBAR, XLM, XRP, whatever. Take a look, do your homework, and I think you'll realize that those are some of the best projects to be in. They have real world utility, and unless regulation throws some funky wrench in it, those are the ones you want to be in, among others. Now, when I was doing my research on digital asset and this Canton blockchain, I saw a lot of different partners like Accenture come up. Well, check this out. And this is like the third time I saw Block X. Now, when you're affiliated with like Accenture and some of these real big corporations like Goldman Sachs, and you see that logo or that name, you should pay attention. So I did, and I looked it up. Well, guys, when I looked it up, it says the cross-chain ecosystem for Web 3, a EVM and Cosmos Layer 1 blockchain ecosystem built for lightning-fast transactions, low-cost fees, welcoming developers to build dApps seamlessly together. And guys, when I dug into it, it looks like a really, really good project. Now, the token is BCX. And I tried to look at the chart, but I could only find one. It's very illiquid. It only has like $24 million market cap. However, guys, I'm not so sure, and this is total speculation. I'm not telling you to buy it. I just want you to watch it, and I'm sure I'll make other videos. Here's my thoughts. On projects like this, and I really have to go back and pull out my research, because I found 2 or 3 that are just like this. Look, you've got Accenture, you've got the one that I talked about, I can't remember the name, and Goldman Sachs affiliated with Block X. Well, guys, there's a good chance that that's where they're going to try to push everything, right? Like pull projects from Solana or Ethereum onto a certain layer 1. This could be one. That's the only reason I want to watch it. Now, my thoughts are in the start of the next bull run, we'll be able to see that. But I just want to put it on your radar for whatever that's worth. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section. But hopefully you found this really, really bullish. It's not going to move the needle anytime soon. But long term, guys, once we get, and we need that regulation clarity, because once we see the clarity, we're going to see Wall Street move in. And we're going to figure out which ones are the best of the best. That's what I want to see. You know, because right now it's a lot of speculation and it doesn't really matter. I'll give you an example. With the tokenomics and the interoperability of Quant, I think it is one of the best of the best. That being said, if me and you and a handful of other people or millions of other retail customers, if we're the ones that think that and Wall Street doesn't, and for instance, they decide it's Chainlink or Casper or HBAR, well, they're going to pump a lot more. Well, I want to find the best of the best. And when I say best of the best, I need to make this clear because I didn't know. Sometimes I have these debates when people go, well, this technology's better. This token's better than this token. Well, I always thought the conversation was the best investment. I didn't know we were talking about technology or anything else. Guys, this is all about investing. I quite frankly don't care what's the best technology. If Wall Street decides to get behind a meme coin, I might debate that that meme coin is better than Ethereum or XRP or HBAR, whatever. Well, I'm not talking about the technology. I'm talking about as an investment. And that's the way we should all look at these. Don't fall in love with a project because it doesn't matter. I mean, look at McDonald's, guys. I use this a lot, but McDonald's has probably one of the worst hamburgers ever. Probably every single one watching this can cook a better hamburger. I know I can. But try to compete with McDonald's in the open market. You can't do it. The best doesn't always win. When you put Wall Street money or hedge fund money behind something and you have some of the best tech, well, then you really got something. That's what I'm looking out for. Anyway, guys, I know I get rambling on, but that's all I got for you. I'm really, really bullish in the next bull run if you can't tell. Make sure you guys are picking real good utility tokens that have a future. Now, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. And just out of curiosity, which ISO 20022 compliant token do you think is the best? I'm thinking, I'm not even going to say Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll take those out of the picture. I have a hard argument that it's not Quant because, guys, tokenomics matter. And it has better tokenomics than even Bitcoin. Anyway, that's all I got. If you haven't subscribed, do so and hit that like button, guys. Come back and be part of this community. Now, this is not financial advice, but guys, you might want to get to stacking in this bear market. Take care.